Hey guys, it's Reese. Welcome back. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a later than planned live stream, but this one may or may not take long depending on how many people show up to this live stream or if anyone does really, because I know it's late for like a lot of people. Um, but I know also in other people who watch or join these live streams, it's like early the next day for them. So yeah, this live stream, I'm going to open 5 diecast cars. They're all majorette diecast cars. I'm going to show some open cars that are my newly finds additions to my diecast cars collection. Talk about the hobby, anything diecast cars related. Um, you know, possibly the future of this hobby and what premium brands are doing to kind of one up the basic cars that we get, because it's like, well, when you think about it, if Matchbox made, all these other cars that Tarmac Works, Mini GT, Majorette, basically the premium brands would be making, then it's like you'd buy them because Matchbox will detail the stuff a lot more to be like the real car, and you don't have rubber tires, so it's like they'll go faster on your Hot Wheels tracks or your Matchbox playset. But on the other side of things, it's like when you get the premium cars, it's like you realize how cool like some of these opening features are when you buy those things. Matchbox does something similar called moving parts, but it's like, yeah, you'll get an opening trunk or opening doors or an opening hood, and that's it. And the problem is, because of that, it makes the car a little bit heavier, actually, so they will go slower on your truck. I'm just going to show the cars I'm going to be opening in this live stream. They're all majorette cars. They're 5 different majorette cars. So here's the Aston Martin Vantage GT8 race car. Here's the Challenger SRT Demon, Ford Mustang, Toyota 2000 GT, and a really cool Porsche. A really, really cool Porsche. And yes, on the back of this, it shows you all the other Porsche cars in this series here. There's a Porsche 935 K3. I'm not sure what the K3 stands for. I have the yellow Porsche, which is the one I just showed. Then there's 2 Vision Gran Turismo concept cars, white and blue. I'm probably going to want both of those. And then there's a silver metallic gray shiny Porsche 911 GT3 Cup 992, which is, I guess, one of their newer body styles for that car. I already have this one, but I think it was like a mint green color for the first time they made that one. So yeah, I know I have that one somewhere. I just don't know where it is now. But yeah, I thought I'd show you those because I also have a few unopened cars. This is from the new Fast and Furious set with the NSX, the Skyline GTR R32, and the Toyota A86 Sprinter Trano. This car makes 246 horsepower. It's 4-wheel drive. It's based off a Group B rally car. I don't know what the B part stands for in Group B rally cars, but this thing is pretty light. I'm not sure how many road-going units they made in total or how many sold actually, but it's not cheap to buy one of those RS200s in real life. Now the rally version is 4-wheel drive like the street car version, but the tires are like all surface or off-road tires, I guess. They didn't really classify that, but the rally car makes 420 horsepower. It's 4-wheel drive, and yeah, that thing was fast. Now its competitors were a Lancia, Stratus, Delta of some sort, I believe, a Lancia, Delta Integrale S4, and also a Peugeot that made 449 horsepower. So yeah, that Ford rally car had some tough competition, but all of those cars were extremely light and extremely quick on the rally tracks back in the day. But unfortunately, years later, they had to eventually ban Group B rally car racing because the companies were not making enough road-going units, or however many units specified enough from the rally regulations. So that's why we don't see Group B rally cars anymore. Same with Group C Le Mans cars. It's like you're not going to see any road-going versions of a Mazda 787B or Mercedes-Benz Sauber C9 or a Porsche 962 or 956 or whatever. You're not going to see road-going versions of some of these cars. And it's like, now the top class of Le Mans is called hypercars, and it's like, okay, so now we're having cars with like 900 or more horsepower. But back in the 80s and 90s, these things were making like 690 to like what, 720 horsepower, somewhere in that range. I could be making that up, but I know they made like 690 or more horsepower. And then it's like if you had, games like Forza Gran Turismo, if you tuned those things, they could go like 300 or more miles per hour on like a lot of tracks that had straightaways. So yeah, those cars are like crazy fast, but they're crazy expensive too in those games. That's the other thing. So yeah, this is one of my favorite Mercedes-Benz cars, and you'll figure out why. They had two engine options for this car. Yes, you heard that right. Two engine options for this die-cast Mercedes-Benz car that I'm showing you based off the real-life car. The first generation, I'm not sure exactly when, but I know this car came out in the 1990s, had a V12 engine. Then a few years later, they discontinued the V12 and put in a V8. Now the race car version of this makes 600 horsepower from a V8 engine. I'm not sure if it's naturally aspirated, twin turbocharged, or supercharged, but knowing it's Mercedes, it's probably twin turbo. This is the CLK GTR from Hot Wheels Team Transport, and it came with this truck. Midweek Diecast, yeah, that's actually true. I agree with you on that, buddy. I'm not going to lie. Thanks for stopping by. Really like that Mercedes. It's just so clean looking. And also, this can happen for the hauler. Yeah, you can take it all the way off and put it back on. Now, I don't know why they put these tires on here. Tires or wheels, that is, but it's like a bit pointless because, well, to be honest, having those tires or wheels on there doesn't do anything for the transport because you can't put them on the car. If they were removable and you could put like different wheels or tires on the car, then yes, that would be super cool. What car do I want to show next? I got all three of the new mystery model cars, 1, 2, and 3. Finding this guy was actually a little bit harder than I thought, but I was lucky enough to snag one from my local Walmart store. It's the Lancer Evolution Mark 6. Looks really nice in this white color. Now, this one does say 2022 Mattel, so I'm not sure if they actually made it last year or not then. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be me or not. It's weird because it says 0 and then it went up to 2. So it's like, I don't know who the other person is in the chat feature because I'm not chatting right now. Here's the Z4M from Mr. Muddles. This was number 2. And then number 3 is a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. Oh yeah, and speaking of really cool cars, these are the 2 cars that I was able to get from the Women of Fast 5-car basic set, which I'm not sure if it's a Walmart exclusive set or not, but it seems like it might be. I still want to find that Volkswagen because I have another basic Hot Wheels Fast and Furious car, but this one's from Decades of Fast, not Fast Women or Women of Fast. Buick GNX from Decades of Fast. I mean, it looks really nice in black. Even the rims and wheels are all black. This car is so black in color, it's like you can see the interior, but not really too much. I mean, you can see the seats in that car, but otherwise it's just full-on black for that car. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Same car series that this Ford came in is where this Plymouth Hemi Cuda comes in. Well, AAR Cuda comes in. I don't know what AAR Cuda means for this car. But yeah, premium tires, well, rail-rider rubber tire wheels, so they can come on and off pretty quickly. Same with this Celica from the Boulevard series. Boulevard cars are Walmart exclusive. I know that. So for all of you outside of U.S. collectors and Canada collectors and outside of Mexico collectors, I wish you luck on finding these Boulevard cars. That's all I'm going to say because I don't know how people in Europe get these Boulevard cars unless they have them at, like, diecast car show events in Europe. Oh yeah, and then some fuzzy thing. Don't know what that was. Okay, there's a hair on this board. That doesn't seem to want to come out. Weird. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to do something. Sorry about that. I had to do that, otherwise this hair would not come out of the Ford. Anyways, these... Okay, I'm gonna have to show them one at a time. These are Heritage Racing Ford GT cars, based off the Le Mans cars, based off from the race from the 1960s. And apparently they seem to have like some really smooth, like metal underbody on these cars. Now these cars are not easy to find. These are only sold at like certain diecast car shops. Colorado Diecast is one. You can find them at like Shelby museums across the U.S. as well. Maybe the Le Mans Museum would have them if they have that out in France. Here's the red Heritage Racing Ford GT supercar. Now, yes, even though they pay tribute to the old 1960s Ford GT40 race cars, these unfortunately will have the new V6 engine that makes like 630 horsepower. But I'm not sure how much horsepower the tribute cars get, or if they even use the V8 or not. This is my favorite one. It's like a bronze gold. And yeah, that's the underbody for them. Oh yeah, I have this car in the 935 and the 911, so I have halfway through the set. But the problem is, because one of them's an error chase car, I'm never going to finish this set, unfortunately. All right, well, time to open the majorette cars. Going to be opening 5 majorette cars in this live. What's that? Here's the Mustang. Other door opens, so that's cool. Here's the Ford Mustang with both doors opened. And now here it is, both doors closed. Headlights, taillights. Okay, that one might be a tad bit more challenging. Oh, sure, sorry. Here's the Majorette Dodge Challenger SRT Demon in black. Here's the view from the front. I don't think the hood opens on this car, but it would be cool if it did, because then you're going to see the V8 engine in there that makes 840 horsepower, but that's if you do all the racing modification stuff to it after you buy one from the dealer. And I do believe that both the doors open. Yeah, that hood's not going to open. But there it is with the doors opened. I mean, that looks really nice in this black color. Then there's the taillights. All right, let's see. Gonna open a Toyota next, the Toyota 2000 GT in a yellow and green livery with number 23 on it. I believe this is my first ever majorette Toyota car, and it's a really nice one. Thanks, Cody's fanboy. Six thumbs up. That's really nice. Much appreciated. So yeah, the hood opens and closes so you can see the engine. Now this car doesn't make a lot of horsepower. I believe its horsepower was like slightly in the range of like 120 to 160. So yeah, not a lot of horsepower in this thing, but it is still a really nice sports car. But the thing is with this car, it's a old classic sports car from I believe the 1960s before 1970s when Toyota made this, and they're not cheap for this thing. They are not cheap for this car. This car and a lot of racing games are like over 100,000 credits. Has number 33 on the sides, right there. Not sure what these colors are supposed to represent, because I know that some countries have yellow and green on their flag. I know Brazil does, but that's a completely different flag color than the colors of this Toyota are. Thanks. So actually, the weird thing is, speaking of Valentine's Day, these 5 majorette cars I'm showing are actually a Valentine's Day gift I got. There's the taillights. So yeah, Majorette didn't do a bad job on this. I know Hot Wheels has made this casting plenty of times, but I do believe that's my first Majorette Toyota car. If not, it's my second one of Majorette Toyota cars I have. Here's a really awesome race car from Majorette. Check out the beauty. And each of these cars comes with their own carry box thing. So yeah, this is the Aston Martin Vantage GT8 from Majorette. And here it is with the doors opened. It's a really nice color. It's in British Racing Green because it's an Aston Martin, and Aston Martin's from United Kingdom. I know this car makes well over 500 horsepower. I'm not sure how much to be exact, but it's one of their awesome GT race cars, Grand Touring race cars for the Le Mans series. Now I'm going to close the doors and then show a bunch of different views of this car. Wow, that green is really shiny, sparkly. Here's the front view. It has number 57 on the hood and also the doors as well. And then it has orange racing stripes down the middle of the car. And also the back of the car too, where the taillights are. Side view. Well, one of the side view with one of the doors. And here's a back view with the taillights and that orange racing stripe that I had mentioned. Then another side view with 57 on the door. All right, well, last car I'm going to show is a beautiful Porsche. Comes with something very cool, actually. This one comes with a tin, not a box. Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting one. It comes with a tin, not a box, actually. Comes with this tin here that I think if you can... Oh, you literally just slide it off and the car goes in there. That's cool. Well, I just learned something new about this thing. Some box it comes with. Well, tin that it comes with. Then it's a Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7. I know Hot Wheels has been making a few of these lately as well. But to be honest, if I had to choose my favorite 911 Carrera RS 2.7, has to be this one. Majorette just really did it nicely with the details on here. I know the tires are rubber and stuff like that, so yes, it's going to be slower than that. Well, unfortunately, there was something on a YouTube channel saying that the 49ers didn't realize, they didn't know the overtime rules of Super Bowl, whereas if it's a non-Super Bowl game, like just a playoff game or something, it's like each team doesn't really get the ball. In like a playoff game, you only get it if the other team makes a field goal and your team scores a touchdown. And then the team who scores a touchdown in a regular season or playoff game in overtime wins the game. But then they changed that rule for the Super Bowl. It's a whole new game, 15 minutes long, and oh, I know that. I totally knew that on Big Ace Diecast. I'm actually getting annoyed by the that stuff too, that I'm not going to mention in this live stream because I don't want to go too far into sports talk. But yeah, I was a Eagles fan, Eagles Andy Reid fan, and that's the only reason I went for the Chiefs because Andy Reid's now the Chiefs offensive coach. I didn't know this. This car only had one headlight. Not one headlight, one mirror. And the gas cap is actually up front, so means it must be mid or rear engined, and yep, it is. Beautiful Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7 in yellow with number 139 on the doors and the hood. And then there's some red decal stuff going along the sides, and also the hood and roof and rear where the spoiler is as well. Well, near the very end of the car. It's a really nice one from Majorette. There are 6 cars in Porsche Edition coming out this year that you can find at Walmart or Target in Majorette cars that they're making in the Porsche set. Now, unfortunately, they have not specified when the other Majorette cars come out. So yeah. Now, speaking of diecast cars, I'm gonna just show this. So yeah, there's all the other cars in the set. There's a Porsche 935K in like a interesting seafoam green or like teal aqua blue color. Then there's two Porsche Vision Gran Turismo concept cars, white and blue for those two cars. Then there's also a Porsche 911 GT3 Cup 992 body style. So that one's in a like silver gray shiny metallic like color. And also, you slide this and you put the car in there, and boom, your car is stored. This would be a cool idea. This is for the Porsche, as you can tell. I really wish other brands would do this, because then you can literally put your cars in these like storage tin bin-like things, tins or bins, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, just store a car in there, and then you don't have to worry about, it getting crazy damaged if you put it with other cars. Yes, I have other storage solutions for my diecast cars, but I'm not able to show those right now. Yeah, unfortunately, they changed the rule because I guess they just didn't realize it. I'm not entirely sure why they changed that rule. I mean, I actually agree with you on this Big Ace diecast. I mean, we're going off the topic of diecast car stuff, but I'm okay with that. And yeah, to be 100% honest, the 49ers technically should have won the game per se. But in college sports, it's like in college football, if a game goes into overtime, you don't really get the ball per se. It's like whoever scores first in college football wins the game automatically, no matter what. But they also did say in the that game that if a defensive score had happened, the game's automatically over. So like if the Chiefs or Niners, if either of those teams got like a interception and their team scored a field goal or touchdown on that, well, a defensive score can't be a field goal really per se. It would have to be a touchdown somehow. Then yeah, I'm not sure if a field goal would count for that. To be honest, I'm really not sure. That's kind of an unknown, actually, to be honest, for me. So yeah. Also, I just thought I'd mention something that toy car hockey is going to start up this week or weekend, by the way. So be on the lookout for that really fun live stream event on my YouTube channel. Toy car hockey is coming back, and yeah, it's going to be fun. Well, I mean, yeah, to be honest, in sports, you can't really expect games to go the way you want them to. I mean, I try to not take sports too seriously and have my feelings like hugely deeply involved, because to be honest, I'm not like a mega Chiefs fan or a mega 49ers fan. I mean, someone, actually in my, well, I'm not going to mention their name, but someone in my family is a Niners fan. But, to be honest, anytime I watch a sports game, I try not to be like, too disappointed or like too unhappy or whatever feeling after like, one of my teams loses. Because it's like one of my teams in college basketball got smoked today by 40 points. 40 points. I'm not even joking. And yeah, to be honest, it's like, how the heck do you lose by 40 points in a college basketball game against a team ranked 2 spots lower than you, and you're both in the same conference? And it's like, you just beat number 5 and number 6 in men's college basketball this year, and then you lose to number 13. And actually, the weird thing is they beat 5 or 6, one of those two teams, at their home court in regulation even. South Carolina beat Kentucky and Tennessee, which were 5 and 6 this year before they dropped in the rankings, like as of last week or this week. And you lose to number 13 Auburn, at Auburn by 40 points. I don't understand how you do that. I really don't. Anyways, well, I don't really know what else to talk about because it's like with me in sports, I don't want to get too deeply involved with feelings in there because it's like, you just don't want your feelings to overcome you too badly in sports when your teams lose because then it's like then you'll do a bunch of like not cool or like not appropriate, reactions or stuff like that. And I'm not going to mention any of those or what they would be because that's not what my YouTube channel is about whatsoever. It's about clean, appropriate, fun, but some trash talk for sports stuff. Not trash talk, as in like you put your sports team in some imaginary trash can or trash bin, but just trash talk like try not to go too far inappropriate or explicit cussing, anything like that with words. But yeah, I'm okay with talking stuff about sports, just not getting too deeply involved with feelings though. Well, I'm not really sure what else to talk about. Oh yeah, I was going to mention toy car and toy car baseball stuff. I haven't made the post yet, but I'm thinking of doing a motorsports themed toy car hockey and toy car baseball stuff for my YouTube channel. Just a fun new creative idea. Because it's like every time I do the country stuff, it's like USA wins toy car hockey and toy car baseball so many times in the toy car hockey and toy car baseball seasons. It's like no other countries have been able to like get even nearly as good as they have been in toy car hockey and toy car baseball these past few seasons and years when I've done toy car hockey and toy car baseball on my YouTube channel. Sorry if I'm talking fast. Sometimes I talk fast. But yeah, all I'm saying is that maybe I do motorsports ones to let other cars have chances of, doing stuff that, USA or other countries do a lot more often. Because it's like if it's motorsports stuff, then it's like it's not really a country. It's a like, motorsports team that gets to, win toy car hockey and toy car baseball, for however long I feel like doing those for. Because it's like I can easily do one for ALMS, American Le Mans Series. There's SCCA Can-Am. I can do that team. I can do RWC and or GRC. I can do one for NASCAR. I can do one for Le Mans, GT, Grand Touring race cars. I don't have any motorcycles, so can't do motorcycles, unfortunately. I could do one for drag racing cars because I have a bunch of drag racing cars. Honestly, I did not hear anything about that, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get feelings involved because I actually like the Eagles, and yeah, I heard nothing about that whatsoever. And I'd rather not go into details about things like that because, again, like I said, I don't want to get feelings too deeply involved in sports stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of diecast cars, for some bizarre reason, I'm actually missing one of my diecast chase cars, and it's like the last time I recalled having this car was somewhere actually in this area. I'm not entirely sure where, to be honest, but it was in a tub of like unopened diecast cars I use for like live streams or videos, and it's like a few weeks or so go by, and it's like now all of a sudden I can't find the car anywhere. And the weird thing is the packaging was slightly opened, and it's like, yeah, I know that it's somewhere around. I just have to look harder for it, I guess. It's a Matchbox moving parts chase car, but it's got to be the most ugliest looking Matchbox super chase car or chase car they've ever made. It's a Range Rover, and it's like, who the heck wants a boxy SUV? Sorry, I'm saying this boxy SUV chase. And the weird thing is, this car is online on eBay, and I believe they're selling for like $50. $50 for this Range Rover moving parts chase car, and it's like, I have one. I was lucky enough to find one at Walmart, and it's like I almost overlooked that thing actually the day I found it, and it's like I was lucky it was still there on a time when I was able to buy it from the local Walmart store. But yeah, to be honest, a few weeks or so go by and never found that car ever again, which is really bizarre, I will say. Well, if there's no more cars or like sports stuff that will have me involve feelings that I do not want to mention or use on this live stream for any means. To avoid using them, I will just end the live stream right now then. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up this live stream. Just be on the lookout for a post for, my new toy car hockey, toy car baseball, motorsports themed ones. And I'll let you know when that stuff starts up. Also, I want to talk more about the hobby of diecast card collecting. It's getting really out of hand. Cali Collector 75 had a video where like two older dudes, older than me and him actually, were like, kind of not really letting him, Cali Collector 75, get like Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars he wanted at a Target store today. And it's like, why are we fighting or arguing over toy cars? It is one of the most silly and pointless things ever. I try to stay positive in toy car, diecast car collecting, hunting, and just realize that, even if I don't get chase cars all the day, and yeah, that's true. And sometimes I feel like, people just don't really have feelings when it comes to collecting diecast cars. Like, he actually had told me in that, well, not me, but in that video had mentioned that these people were close enough to like pushing him out of the way for like diecast cars. And it's like, why are we fighting, pushing, shoving, arguing over like $1.28 toy cars? I mean, it's this most pointless thing ever. It is one of the most pointless things ever. It's more pointless than like the worst team in the NFL making the Super Bowl and beating the best team in the NFL Super Bowl by like 20 or more points. I'm just using that as a comparison. I'm not saying that'll ever happen. I'm just using that as a funny comparison for, there's no reason for, fighting, arguing, any of that negative stuff in diecast car, toy car hunting. Because to be honest, what I'm about to say is, I honestly think of every day as a win for me, no matter what kind of diecast cars I end up buying. Whether they're chase cars or not, I honestly do not care. If I find something I've really been looking for or planning on getting, and it's there and I buy it and I have the funds or money to buy those, then yeah, I consider that a win in my book. I mean, to be honest, I will say one thing. I just don't know how people feel like when you are like looking at cars and then someone runs up to you and say, "Hey, I found like 6 super treasure hunts," and you don't get to have any of them. I don't like it if someone says that to me. I'm sorry, but that's not okay. I'm actually talking about like, if someone finds it in store kind of stuff. Like, I'm not paying like crazy amounts of money for like chase cars online, but I'm just saying that, if I find a chase car in store, it's like, you don't need to rub it in someone's face saying like, I found all these chase cars and you can't have any of them. That's a little bit unnecessary to do that. I mean, when I find a super treasure hunt or anything like that, it's like, I'm happy I find it. I don't tell anyone like, you can't have this car. It's mine. I don't say that. You know why? Because I'm a happy, positive diecast car collector. I don't want to spread negativity to this hobby. In fact, one day I found 2 super treasure hunts at a Walmart store, and guess what I did with the second one? I let someone else have it. Because, in all honesty, it's like, if I opened a super treasure hunt, someone would be like, why did you open a Hot Wheels super treasure hunt? You don't open Hot Wheels super treasure hunts on your channel. And that's kind of the reason why I decided not to get the other one. Well, also, it was the collector's dad's kid or, well, son, that is. And it's like, yeah, they asked me politely, and it's like, if you don't ask someone politely, they're going to probably, just take a hint and just be like, sorry, your loss. I'm buying 2 of these, and I don't care. I mean, you're not going to say that to them, but it's like in the back of your mind, you're like, just be happy with what you found that day. But yes, to be honest, it was not the most desirable Hot Wheels Super Treasure, and this was a few years ago, actually. There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, yeah. I'm going to make a video, I'm not sure when, of all my store exclusive cars. I'm not counting premium cars that are Mini GT Tarmac Works, because it's like, they're not store exclusive. You can find those at a bunch of other collector car stores. So it's like, they're not just limited to like Collected Diecast or Company Owned Collectible. a bunch of stores across the US and other countries sell those things. I know that. I know some online sells them too, so it's like they're not really store exclusive then if online sells them. But yeah, that's it for this live stream. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching, joining, stopping by. Collect what you like, enjoy, love. Collect what brings you, happy feelings, happiness, all of that stuff. When it comes to, collecting of anything, don't let anyone tell you to stop collecting your trading cards or whatever you're looking for. Do not let anyone say that to you. Do not let anyone discourage you and say like, you're too old or whatever for like, collecting trading cards or toy cards or diecast cards or whatever you're looking for in stores of a, collectible hobby kind of thing. Because if someone says that to you and you follow that, guess what's going to happen? A few days or so later, or I don't know, possibly in the same day, that person is going to be like, because you stopped collecting, I got all these chase cars and you get none of them. That's what they're probably going to say. And that's why you want to ignore people like those. Because otherwise, they're going to get all the good stuff, even if it's not chases, like the good main lines even, or like store exclusive cars. And then you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I followed this person's horrible advice. Don't follow that advice. That has got to be the worst advice anyone would say. Stop collecting. It's like, yeah, don't even talk to a person if they say that to you at that rate. Well, bye. I gotta head out. Computer's on battery. See you all next time. Bye. Have a great rest of your week and weekend, everyone.